Oh, breastfeeding is wonderful. It gives your baby the very best start possible. The colostrum that mothers produce actually gives baby immunities against disease for their first several weeks of life. And also it's made for that baby specifically. You know, moms for baby A milk is different than a different mom's for baby B's milk. It gets adjusted for the baby's needs and how old the baby is at the time of the feedings. So the fat content and the protein content change depending on the age of the child, which unfortunately isn't something that formula is able to do. It's a pretty standard, it has the same percentage of fat and protein regardless of the age of the child. So it's really nice that breastfeeding provides very specific food for your specific child. Also, it's free. I don't know if you've looked at formula, but it's really, really expensive. Breastfeeding is free. It's always the right temperature. It's portable. I basically can't tell you enough how wonderful breastfeeding is. And even if you're only able to breastfeed your baby for a couple weeks, that is a gift that you are giving that child for the rest of his life.
So there's benefits for moms and babies. Some of the benefits for moms are they can lose weight easier after delivering a baby if they breastfeed. It can prevent against some types of ovarian and breast cancer. So that's, a couple of the biggest, in bonding, emotional health, it can really help with, all that for mom. The list for babies is really extensive. It can prevent illnesses. It can decrease the severity of illnesses. A benefit for mom and babies is moms miss less work because babies are sick less often. One of the beauties of breast milk is that as we've talked about, it adjusts for different babies and different moms based on baby's needs. But if mom's exposed to an illness, she will make immunities to that, and she will pass those in the breast milk to her baby. And it adjusts. The baby grows, they breastfeed a little more, so your supply bumps up. It's based on a supply and demand thing. And so babies tell your body they need more milk. Your body makes more milk. Babies, as they start to wean and transition to oral foods, they start breastfeeding a little less, and your body adjusts for that. So it is kind of an amazing thing.
No, skin to skin is wonderful. So what skin to skin is as soon as the baby's born, we don't even wipe the baby off. We put them directly onto mom's bare skin on her chest. That does so many different things. One, that baby immediately smells mom and is comforted by that. Mom's skin temperature will actually adjust to keep baby's temperature stable. So if the skin realizes that baby's too cold, mom's skin will actually put out more heat to help warm that baby up. It's amazing. And babies, that's where their instinct is. If you put a baby on a mom's chest and you just let it do its own thing, that baby will wiggle its way to the breast and latch on. It's totally amazing. It also regulates their blood sugar. Temperature, blood sugar, bonding, obviously. Sometimes moms aren't able to do the skin to skin. Let's see, she's having a C-section and we're able to put the baby on mom's chest, but we need to take the baby out of the room while she gets stitched up, or she's feeling nauseous, or there's some problem after delivery that she's just not immediately able to take that baby skin to skin. We strongly encourage dad to do the same thing. We will have dad pull off his shirt, put the baby on his chest, wrap them both up in a nice little warm blanket, and it does the same thing. Dad is able to regulate the temperature and really bond with that baby also. The more you do skin to skin, not necessarily just in that first couple hours, but for the entire time that your baby's little, the baby is much calmer, happier, and eats better, and just has a better outcome. There's a lot of reasons that women decide not to breastfeed. Personal preference, a medical issue, or difficulty breastfeeding in the past. Going back to work, a lot of moms really kind of hit the wall on that. They'll decide, well, I'm not going to start breastfeeding because I know I have to go back to work in 4 weeks and I'm not going to be able to keep that up while I'm at work. So there's lots of reasons, and all of those are acceptable. It's your baby. We want you to make an informed decision about how you choose to feed your baby.
Yeah, we will support a feeding choice no matter what it is, and we'll educate if we need to help her, decide one way or the other if she needs to make that decision at this point. A lot of times it's prenatally that they make this decision, and so that's why we really need, help with that prenatal education out there and support from family and friends and physician offices and, education out there prenatally WIC. They're working on a breastfeeding class as well right now. Because by the time they come to us, many, 90% of the time probably have a decision made of which way they're going to go. And so at this point, we're really supporting that, whichever way they want to go. And so we need that community assistance prenatally as well to help advocate for breastfeeding.
So our department here actually did earn its baby-friendly designation certification this year, which is huge. You go through, we've been working on it here for a couple of years now, go through a lot of hoops. You have to have all the departments on board with supporting breastfeeding and the baby-friendly. And then the employees here, we have several who are CLCs, which is a certified lactation counselor. They've gone through a very intensive week of training, actually on site where, all 5 days, they're 8-hour days, and then they do a pretty intensive test that they have to pass to earn their designation. A couple of us are IBCLCs, which is the International Board of Certified Lactation Consultants. That's kind of a mouthful. To earn that designation, you have to do 90 hours of intensive education plus clinical experience, and we sit for a very strenuous board test. So once a year, I think it's twice a year now, those tests are available. So worldwide, the tests are the same regardless of what country you're in. They're just in different languages. And if you go through all the steps and pass everything, then you become certified as an IBCLC, which allows you to do more intensive lactation counseling. So you're qualified to be able to help with babies that are having a hard time latching, or that maybe have a tongue tie or some type of a special feeding need that, the CLCs are very qualified to help, mom here nursing, but if it becomes a little bit more difficult for her to nurse, then it's usually something that one of the IBCLCs will kind of step in and try to help out with. And we can also support the mothers outside of the hospital setting.
I think there's only like 14 hospitals in Colorado that have a baby-friendly designation. So this is that's a prestigious award, and it's big for us. And to be a small hospital and have this award, it's huge. Sometimes at public events or fairs, they're starting to set up the privacy booths, or a tent where breastfeeding moms can go. And so then there's a nice private place for moms to go and breastfeed that don't want to breastfeed in public. And then it's just a lot of it's advocation. If you see a mom out there breastfeeding on the street and people are saying stuff to her, looking at her funny, it's not about her just standing up for herself. It's about all of us standing up for each other. And this takes a community, it takes a village, and it's just gonna, right, there is the stigma, and I think it's just gonna take more education and awareness and time to get more people there.
So yeah, we are very supportive regardless of what your choices are. We'll help you do whatever you need to do to make it work for you and your baby. There's actually a specific time for our breastfeeding support group, but if they call us at 3 o'clock in the morning, we will talk to them about how to fix whatever's going on with their breastfeeding. We're here 24/7 and more than happy to help out.